God bless you guys. Hope you guys are doing awesome. As you see in the title of this video, it's also a get ready with me video, but it's also a little personal, very personal to my heart, very personal to my life, period. And I just wanted to give this little short intro to it. I hope that it will bless your life. I hope that you take something from it as well. It's not, I'm not telling you or doing this video out of pity, you know, or for you to have pity on me or my family or whatever like that. It's something that I've had in my mind for quite a while that I felt like I had to do and share it with you. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Stick around to the end. I know that I've said in my previous videos that my videos will be short and sweet, straight to the point, but this one's a little bit different. This one's, you know, a little testimony, my story, so it's a little bit long, but I really hope you stick to the end through it. So thank you guys again. Remember, please like the video. You can share it, comment, subscribe, support your girl. All right, love you guys. Just a little disclaimer, you know, we're gonna be putting makeup on and stuff like that. I am not a makeup artist. I have no idea what I be doing half the time, so don't judge me. All right, watching the video and be like, oh, she put her eyeshadow wrong. Whatever. I kind of had to kick my family out the house so I can actually do this, because that's one of the reasons why I haven't really uploaded. I really have no time. I get home, everybody's here, everybody's loud, so, and if you hear some noise around, my dog is around, so that's about it. But a few months ago, I think it was in May, I had the opportunity to preach at my church on the identity of Christ. And it was through this that I learned that God spoke to me, and God really ministered to me about his identity and stuff, or my identity, that, you know, that's in him. And, you know, using my daughter as an example and stuff. So a lot of you guys know, sorry, I don't know why I'm so nervous. A lot of you guys know, you know, what happened to her. Those are who are very close to us, you know, friends and family. So in March, the beginning of March of this year, Milena, my youngest, who is 5, she went to blow out a candle that I had in my living room, and it was morning time. It was after breakfast, and I'm supposed to be putting makeup on. It was morning time and it was breakfast time, or after breakfast, sorry. And, you know, she was just playing around, and I had stayed home that day because that whole week I was sick. It was not COVID. The week before, so this accident happened March 16th. The week before, it was like, I think the day after my birthday, actually, I had gotten my first dose of the COVID shot. And I was perfectly fine. It was, I think it was on a Tuesday, I want to say Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't really remember. But I got the COVID shot, and then on Saturday, I had gotten sick. Like I had gotten my hair done that morning, and then after that morning, I started getting this real strong headache, and my throat was bothering me, and it was bad. So because, you know, I got the COVID shot and all that stuff, I had to get COVID tested. And I got COVID tested the following week. And I got my results on Tuesday, which was the day of the accident, and it was negative. So it was just, I guess, I don't know, the after effects of the COVID shot, which were kind of late. They showed up late, as they would say, because it happened like 4 days after. Usually symptoms start like the following day. I don't know, whatever. So that happened. It was negative. So I was still feeling a little down, and I went to lay in bed after I had made my daughter's breakfast. I went to lay down and rest a little bit. And when a couple like hours later, I hear screaming. I hear screaming and crying, and I had thought that if you don't know us, in my house, screaming and crying and yelling, that's normal, perfectly normal. So I didn't really react to it at first. And then one of my daughters came in my room and was like, oh, Milena got burned. So I'm thinking, like, I got up really quick. I went to check, and she was like screaming and crying. Her hair was fried. Let me just put it like that. Her hair was fried. If you guys know who Mrs. Frankenstein is or looks like, you know, with the big hair like that, that's exactly how her hair was. Her hair was so fried. And I was in shock. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do whatsoever. I didn't know if to call 911. I didn't know if to call the fire department. I didn't know who to call. I was just shocked. I'm asking her, what's wrong? What happened? Tell me what happened. And she was scared. She didn't want to tell me what happened because she knows she's not supposed to, you know, be jumping on couches and playing, you know, with the candles and, you know, trying to blow them out and stuff like that. So I had called my husband, and I was like freaking out over the phone. I am telling him, you need to come home now. Milena burned herself, and you know, her whole forehead right here was like red. And she kept freaking out. She's like, it burns. And she's like crying and crying. And then it's like, you know, what do you do in that moment? You know, your child is crying. You don't know what the heck to do. They won't tell you what's wrong or how it happened. And I'm looking around, and, you know, is it electrical? Because the candle was still on. So I didn't even think that it was that. So I'm thinking, you know, looking if it's electrical, if she like, you know, shocked herself and, you know, electrocuted herself. I don't know. I don't know. So I had called 911. And after I called 911, I explained to her, like, listen, like, I don't know what the heck happened. She's freaking out. She doesn't even know what happened. So as a precaution, they just told me that, you know, to go out into my driveway, into my car, just in case it is electrical and, you know, something blew up or whatever. So when I hung up the phone, that's when she had told me, you know, I tried to calm her down a little bit, and I asked her, you know, what happened? Like, tell me what happened. You know, I just need to know what happened so we can, you know, help. We can help you. You know, you're gonna get better and stuff, but we need to know exactly what happened so I can tell whoever's gonna come what happened so they know what to do. So she tells me that she was playing on the couch, and I have like this, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a mantle thing where I put stuff. And I had a candle there, and she was playing, you know, she was trying to blow it out. And I guess it caught on fire. And her whole hair caught on fire. Her, like, all this to here was like, you know, red and stuff like that. And I didn't notice the extent of like her skin and how bad it was, because I was just I don't know, I was like freaking out. Like we were all yelling. It was just my other two daughters. My oldest, apparently when she saw her, she screamed, you know, mind you, I'm still in my room, and she screamed, and I bravely patted the fire out of her hair. And miraculously, she had no blisters, no nothing, like at all. So anyway, the ambulance comes, and I'm like scrambling. Mind you, I'm in my pajamas. You know, I wasn't properly dressed to go out. I had sandals on. All I had time was to TMI, but all I had time was to put a bra on and to put some pants on, Milena, our coats, and out. Like it's March, so it's still cold. I'm in sandals, no socks. And the ambulance comes. They put us into the ambulance quickly. Thankfully, my brother-in-law came at that time, and he took her while I, you know, quickly got ready. And then my mother-in-law came, thankfully. So I just hopped in the ambulance. I forgot my wallet. I don't know I don't know. I just don't know. I just know that I had to get into the ambulance. So where I live, for those of you that don't know, I live in a place where you know, we have a hospital, which is like about 10 minutes from my house. And then we have a children's hospital, which is like an hour and some change away, where it's like a trauma center. And at first they were telling us, yeah, we're gonna go to this hospital, which it was closer. But apparently, I guess they had to change their mind because the extent of her injuries was too much. So they had to tell us, listen, we gotta go to like Westchester, which is like an hour and a half driving from where I live. So we went into the helicopter. They transferred us by helicopter. And meanwhile, I'm, you know, have so many thoughts in my mind, like what the hell happened? What's going on? Some thoughts while I was on the helicopter that I will not say here. But, you know, I've said it to my friends and family, so they know what I'm talking about. But, you know, some thoughts that I probably shouldn't be thinking, but I'm human, you know. I'm thinking of, you know, everything that that's going to be the consequence of this and stuff like that. So she ended up getting sick in the helicopter and threw up. And then I wanted to throw up because we were like in the helicopter, it's all compact, and it's like, oh my God. And we had like probably like 10 minutes to get there. So in helicopter, it was a 20-minute ride. Driving, it was an hour and a half. And so many people calling me and texting me while I'm in the helicopter, and I couldn't really answer them because I'm in a helicopter and it's loud and, you know, all that stuff. And I was just too, like, my mind wasn't ready, or I don't know. I just, like, my mind wasn't all there to like start talking to people and explaining what happened and all that stuff. And, you know, but it's normal that people were concerned and stuff like that. So I had told my husband where we were going, and we got there. And so when we got to the hospital, you know, I explained everything to the doctors of, you know, what happened and how this happened and et cetera, et cetera. So they started cleaning her. And when they started cleaning her, it was, you know, normal, like gauze and water and like baby soap. And when they started cleaning her, like her skin, like they would wipe and lightly, and it wasn't like, because I was watching, because, you know, she was in pain and she was hurting, and she was still feeling the burn. So I'm like watching them like a hawk, and, you know, they were lightly not moving, but they were lightly passing the cloth through her head. And as they were doing that, her skin just came off like clothes, like if you're peeling an orange or peeling something, I don't know, but it was just coming off. And it was, like I said, like up to here. Like it got into her hair, real far out. And I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Her whole head began to swell up, like if she had like a big forehead or something. Like it was something so traumatic for me. And you know, this whole experience was just like so confusing. And you know, you go through something and it's like you really can't tell why. Like you how to explain it, like you can't help but ask why. Like, why, God? Why did this happen? Why are you doing this? You know, something we quickly we take our human mode and we quickly think, you know, that God he allowed it to happen, but why did this happen? You know, we start to blame God, as bad as that sounds, you know. And I know it wasn't his doing now, obviously, you know, but in those moments, that's what went through my mind. You know, I went through guilt because, you know, if I wouldn't have been in my room laying down, if I would have been sick, you know, none of this would have happened. So just, you know, all these thoughts just began to cloud my mind and everything like that. And then my husband comes, and as soon as she was asleep at the time, and as soon as he, you know, comes into the room and opens the curtain, you know, he breaks down, and then I break down, and it's like it was just a very emotional time for us. So long story short, you know, they had discharges from the hospital, but she still had to, you know, we had to do follow-ups and, you know, a lot of stuff that, you know, we still had to do. And she had to undergo 2 surgeries because it wasn't healing properly, I guess, and they had to like scrape all that off. And yeah, like it was bad. Like it was bad. It was a really emotional time for us. Very, like I said, very confusing. I was not working at the time. You know, it's normal, it's human of me, you know, to think about our finances. Like, what are we gonna do now? Like, how are we gonna pay all these hospital bills? And it's something that I still think about, you know, but it's, you know, take it day by day and stuff. So when we got home after, when it happened, the day of, her hair was like I said, it was like so fried, and I literally had to take the scissors, because there was no washing it, because it was like coming out in chunks, like completely. And I had to take the scissors and I had to cut, you know, where it was all matted, and I'm telling you, it looked like a rat's nest. So now, you know, her hair is like super uneven. Like it looks like she took the own scissors to her own hair and had a party with the scissors. That's what she looks like right now. So currently we're waiting for a little bit. You know, obviously we're gonna get it cut and even it out before school starts. You know, so she, you know, feels, you know, good and stuff like that. And not that she doesn't feel good and whatnot, but you know, there was times where during the healing process, like after the fact that happened, her whole face just swelled up. She didn't even look like herself. You know, she sounded like herself, obviously, you know, her mannerisms were like herself. But when I looked at her, it just broke me, because she was not her. Like, it was not her. She looked like a completely different person. And she will look at herself, because I had to clean her up, you know, 3 times a day. And she will look at herself in the mirror. she would be like, "Ma, why do I look like this? You know, I look like a grandma," you know, because she was so swollen that, you know, like her eyes were like so like this, and like, you know, she was just so swollen. And to her, I don't know, she like looked like a grandma. I guess like all the cartoons that she'd be watching or something like that. I'm about to get in your face, so sorry about that. So, while that is happening, we are, you know, taking her to her appointments every week, you know, because they were weekly appointments all the way to Westchester to see how she was doing, her healing. And then that's when, you know, that's when we found out that she needed the surgery because it wasn't healing properly. And in this time, you know, during this time, I was so, like I said, I was so confused. I was so anxious. My anxiety level was just through the roof. But so many people were so amazing with us. You know, the prayers that they gave, you know, the services that they gave in my house, different people praying for us all over the place, all over the country. And I'm just so grateful that we have my family has people that, you know, loves us basically, you know, and it showed and even my husband, you know, it showed us a lot, you know, that people do care about us. Because sometimes, you know, we feel alone. Sometimes we feel that we are nothing. We're no ones, you know, but there's people out there really that really do care about us. And at least if it's not us, you know, they care about my daughter at least, you know. But she got so spoiled during this time. She got so many gifts, you know, she was loving it. And thankfully she's all better now. But like I said, this is a process that I guess I had to learn, you know, that sometimes I question like who was I, you know. And I learned that it doesn't matter what, you know, what we feel or what I feel or what I go through. And sometimes I question like, why am I the way I am, or why do I look the way I look, you know. And it's like I just have to worry about, you know, that my identity is in Christ. And God really showed me that through her, you know, the times where she didn't look like herself. You know, I would tell her, and my husband would tell her, you know what, you're still beautiful, you know, you're still Milena, you know, you are a little girl who is loved by many people. You are still you, you know, your identity remains the same. Just because, you know, maybe physically you don't look like yourself at the moment, but your identity remains the same. And that's how, you know, I feel, you know, God spoke to me in that way. You know, I am, because I had, like I said previously before, I have many insecurities, you know. There's many times where I have questioned why I am the way I am and all that. But it is God, you know, who molds me into the person that he wants me to be, you know. So I don't even know why my eyeshadow is so high up. Anyway, like I said, I'm not a makeup artist. Anyway, so during this whole time, you know, God just was very good to us, showed us, you know, or me at least, showing me, you know, his love and mercy, his grace, that he's always with me every step of the way, that he will never leave me behind, that he has plans and purposes for me, for my family. And I am so grateful, you know. Even though there's still times where, you know, like I said, I do question sometimes, like, what are we doing? What's going on? Sorry, hold on. Yep, I messed that up. Whatever. There's just so many times where I just say, you know, the hell with everything. You know, I really don't want to keep going. I really don't want to keep doing this whatsoever. I don't want to continue to feel inadequate. But God, you know, God tells me so many things, so many beautiful things, that I am, you know, I'm his daughter. I'm loved, that I have, you know, purpose and stuff like that. So it all depends on, you know, who am I listening to, basically, you know? Am I listening to these, you know, the doubts in my mind? Am I listening to, you know, the enemy reminding me of my past, or, you know, my flaws, my insecurities? At the end of the day, I'm a child of God, and I will stand firm.